guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV, and we're here for the review, finally, the review of the whole of Euro 2020. I've got Thor, Macy, Thankful, Matt, and Chris in this guys. How are you, Thor?
Yeah, good. Rather warm, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's boiling. Right,
Y'all Englishmen with your boiling and all this. It's 37 over here.
Oh, nah, I don't want that, mate.
It's been 40 to 43 for the past month. Y'all talking about boiling.
Shit.
Anyway, we got Macy, how are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. All right. Hamilton came second, but there you go. Not really moved. Connor, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Unfortunate news out of America, which it seems to be unfortunately a weekly thing. We've had 2 shootings now in 2 days.
Oh, not yet.
We had one last night. We had one last night in Washington that killed a 6-year-old girl and injured 5 adults. And then
Wow.
we just had 8 people now going to the hospital for injuries in a shooting in Oregon. So yeah, space of 2 days, we've had 13 injured and 1 death from 2 shootings in 2 different states. So unfortunate. It's really sad how often we have shootings, and I feel like every week I go on to Twitter and see a new one.
What state are you in? Sorry, Connor.
I'm in California, so it's funny.
California.
Washington had one, Oregon had one, and they're the 2 states right above me. So if the trend continues, they're coming down to my area.
Yeah, it's tragic. It's tragic to hear, as always. But yeah, how are you, Chris?
I'm absolutely spiffing. Glad this is probably the last Euro show we're going to do, and we can get on to proper football and the Premier League.
Spiffing. I've not heard that for a while, Chris.
It's you Northerners, you see. You Northerners, yeah, right, mate. We're right good up here. We're right good.
No,
down here, we're spiffing.
Yeah, not the Northerners. We've just got the best comments. We've got the best accents. Everything the North.
I see.
Can someone just translate that for me?
Yeah, can someone just translate that into English for me, please?
Yes, exactly.
I think us Americans have the best accent because we're the easiest to understand.
I think you're being a trifle harsh there, Albin, but we'll let it pass on this occasion, little boy.
It's sad when you can understand an American more than you can understand 2 Northerners.
Yeah, but if I lay the Manc accent thick, mate, like proper, like, yeah, that kid, what are you talking about, Chris, mate? No, mate, that kid. Don't fucking mess with those fucking Mancs, mate.
That's more Scouse.
That's you're nearly into fucking Liverpool with that accent.
Oh, mate's fucking Liverpool. Nah, that's fucking proper Scouse, mate. Like that. Fucking shit.
Anybody got a bin? Anybody have a bin nearby?
A bin? No.
Anyway, we've got T-Ho with us. How are you, man?
Yo, T-Ho.
Hey, man, I'm doing good. It's all
right, so we should start really to what we all predicted at the start of the tournament. So obviously you came with the biggest prediction of all, which caught everyone by surprise, and probably no one believed at the time. Yeah, you predicted England to be in the final.
Yep. Yeah, I did, mate. I just, what with the individual players that we've got, the way we're seeing us playing in those, especially that one particular game, I think it was the Romania game, and I remember saying to you afterwards that, you know what, I saw something that was really exciting me, and I thought we can do this. We can actually. We got to the semis last time, so why can't we go to the final? And you know what, there you go.
Yeah.
So if y'all want to sort of bow down now, I'll accept it. Or you can wait until after the stream.
No, nah, you're right.
Your modesty becomes you there, Talk.
I'm very modest. Very modest.
Macy, what was your prediction going into the tournament?
My prediction, I predicted for France and Portugal to be in No, it was, who was it? Belgium and Portugal to be in the final. That was my one. I thought Belgium was going to win because I had that gut feeling since 2018 that Belgium was going to win the Euros, and that was just the worst gut feeling I've ever had in my life. That's all I'm going to say, but I didn't expect England to be in the final. I expected the semis, and that was it, really.
Okay. Tiho, what did you expect or predict in the read up to the Euros?
I had a very basic prediction. I had France or Portugal, or well, basically anyone who won Group F, maybe minus Hungary, because Hungary is going to win it, let's be fair. But France or Portugal, or even Germany, but yeah, very basic.
Okay. Connor, what did you say?
I definitely didn't have England going far. I just remembered my parents live up in Oregon, so I'm just checking in to make sure they're all right. My family just moved up to Oregon a couple months ago. But no, I definitely didn't predict England to get that far. My hats, I will say congratulations to you guys. Fair enough for all the shite that you guys get on a regular basis. To get to the final is a really good result for you guys. I could have sworn I had like France and Italy or something like that in the final. But, my own team ruined France, so that, of course, didn't come through.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. Chris, what did you expect?
Well, I had my money on a Wales-Scotland final, but wasn't to be, was it?
Just trying to win a fucking
I've got something in my eye real quick, sorry.
I'm actually just looking. Personally, Italy were my dark horses. No, I didn't expect England to get there, but I'm just looking at the Euro predictor that we did for our channel, and we actually had Italy to beat Spain and England to beat Denmark in the semis, and then Italy-England in the final with Italy winning it. So we got it pretty much spot on.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you want to get up, if you want to stop kneeling for talk and kneel for me, I don't mind.
It's all right because I'll stand back side by side and we'll both accept it.
Well, yeah, exactly. They can kneel before the pair of us,
Yeah.
Right, let's go to some comments.
Like William and Harry.
Chris, it's good that you're not kneeling because it'd take about 6 years for you to get back up.
I'll take that, mate. I'll take that.
I'll give you a
big up the Dugout channel.
Yes.
Doug.
Big up and stay safe. Big up Team Tony. Big up all the members. Connor, Macy, King Tony, Talk, Melina, Bargav. Big them all up. And my prediction going into the tournament, in the words of Mr. T in Rocky 3, pain. And that's ultimately England suffered in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I expected pain maybe in the round of 16 or quarters, and that's probably about it, to be honest.
For me, I said
very confident.
Once we got past Denmark, which was a fantastic game, some dodgy refereeing decisions. You know what? I said it then. I said, you know what? Whatever happens from this point, I am happy because England gave us what we longed for, which was that chance to actually take the crown. And you know what? Whether you look at the refereeing decisions in that game or the decisions by Southgate, it's up to you whatever you look at it. But at the end of the day, we did what we haven't done for 55 years. We got to a final and things are looking promising going forward. So for me, I'm just I'm pumped up for the World Cup and I want it to start now. I want it to start tomorrow. Can't they bring it forward? You know what I mean? I can host it in my back garden if they want. You know what I mean?
You're better than Qatar.
Sweet, then I have 3 teams to let me down.
Oh, yeah. Connor, who are your 3 teams going to be in the World Cup then? Obviously, America.
United States, Scotland, and Switzerland.
Oh, yeah.
So disappointment. Disappointment.
Actually, do you know what? I was talking to a guy on Matt's channel once who's from America but plays semi-pro in Spain. And we were talking about the USA team. And I was saying that, look, the USA team, the ability is there. The individual ability is there.
Coaching's not.
This is the thing. It's the coaching and the understanding of you know, the little isms of the game, the little isms. And if somebody comes in, I know, what's his name tried it, didn't he? What was his name? German guy.
Klinsmann was fucking dreadful.
Yeah, Klinsmann tried it, but it didn't quite work for him. But I think you know, you get somebody else who can try and inject that part of the game into the USA team. I think they could actually, you know, do quite well, to be fair.
I mean, I'd take Sean Dyche at this point. Just give me somebody that actually knows what they're doing.
Well, so you know what? When you say Sean Dyche, you know what? I see Chris laughing. But on a serious note, you get someone like Sean Dyche. He knows the game inside out, upside down, and any which way you choose. He knows it all. So somebody like Sean Dyche, I think, could bring a lot of real big pluses to the. But it would take, in my opinion, Connor, I think it'd take more than one. I think it'd be like a couple of stints of different managers coming in who can instill, you know, the little, because the isms are quite numerous.
I'd say I'd even take Eddie Howe at this point. Just somebody who knows the game and has like top class managing. I'd just be like, please.
Connor, would you take Big Sam Allardyce?
Oh, and at this point, yes, I would. I like Big Sam. I think his big shithouse personality fits America pretty well. I mean, look at our last president. He fit right in with our last president with the personality. So at this point,
I wouldn't go that far with him. But
are you kidding me? Americans, we love to banter our own country.
Well, anyway, the group stages. I think probably the team that started to impress us immediately was Italy, wasn't it? Obviously, they eventually won the tournament, but we saw from very early on they looked very, very strong in their group. Constantly beating teams. What did you make of Italy, Macy, in the group stages?
Before the Euros, I had Italy as the dark horses, like especially with them not being in any cups like the World Cup last time. I thought maybe they might actually do well because they might have that little bit of a drive in them to actually go far. And then when I watched them on the first game, I thought, wow, this is actually really fantastic football. I've enjoyed it so much. With Italy, they play such beautiful football. Well, apart from obviously England, because I wasn't impressed with that football. But overall, I feel like they was an amazing team, and knowing that we lost against them in the final, I'm happier that I've lost against Italy than I have lost against like Spain or Denmark. I'm much happier to lose against Italy over anyone else, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Talk, you immediately picked up on Italy straight away, the way they were playing. I mean, there were people that kept writing Italy off every step of the way, but
no.
That defense airing at the back is just unreal.
But
exactly that.
Yeah, I mean, so you picked up straight away, didn't you?
The thing for me was the way they so composed and calm on the ball, back to front, right through the middle. Never panic, never rush. They just, it's almost as if they know. It's like this uber confidence, but without showing it. If you know what I mean, kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, it proved against us because if you just look at how they, we did allow them into the game somewhat in the second half. But if you look at what they did and how they got that goal, that wasn't by accident. As much as it pains me, that was pure quality coming through. The way Bonucci was there, and sorry, who else was it who was involved in that goal for Italy? Bonucci and who else? To go for Italy in the final when Pickford saved, it came off the post.
Bonucci.
Yeah, but who hit it before Bonucci? Somebody hit it before Bonucci, so we.
I can't remember.
Was it Verratti?
Yeah, Verratti. So Verratti, took a shot. Picky did his best, and it sort of squirted out. But it's no accident that Bonucci was there like a predator, and he's a defender. This is him saying back to front. They can all. I bet Bonucci could actually even play in the midfield if he wanted to. They're that good. So yeah, one of those things. Isn't it?
I will take one person I forgot to mention. The person I'm thinking of as well to bring to the U.S. The guy who just retired from Crystal Palace.
Roy
Hodgson?
Roy Hodgson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd take Roy Hodgson. I'd take Roy Hodgson.
No, you're not that desperate, mate.
I need somebody. Have you seen our past two managers? Our past managers.
I know there's a bit of Scott in you, and so you're used to losing. But come on, he couldn't even beat Costa Rica.
Our past two managers have fielded MLS players over European players. They literally fielded players in the MLS over people like Pulisic and McKennie and Anthony Robinson.
By the time he gets you to a final, he's that old.
I just want somebody who's going to get us out of the group stage. That's the only thing. That's my only goal for all three of my teams. Just get out the group stage and I'll celebrate.
I get Sean Dyche and Big Sam. I was half joking, but not Roy.
I'd take Graham Potter from Brighton if he wants an international job.
Arteta?
Hell no. Hell no. I'm not that desperate.
Big Sam.
Arsenal can keep him across the pond from us.
It was worth a try.
He can stay across the pond.
Just say that.
The standards. There has to be standards somewhere, don't they? And Arteta is just below standard.
Saeed gave us one of the lasting memories of the Euros when Sweden were playing. Who was it against, Stephen? Sweden were playing.
Sweden were playing against who was it? What game are you talking about? Sweden against what? Ukraine?
When they got knocked out.
Finals? Oh yeah, it was Ukraine, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Saeed just did a disappearing act. I'm like, bang, gone.
Yeah, he disappeared. He came. No, I remember
He
the Denmark
dropped
game.
off.
Do you remember the Denmark game? We were all shouting at the referee. Right?
Yeah.
And he's going, I told you they're corrupt.
Yeah, they are.
Not helping our issue here.
Sterling dived.
What?
Sterling with a little bit of that.
Excuse me. Alright. Lampard's goal. Hand of God. Right. Do you want to keep going?
Oh my God! How little I care.
Right. So that time we had some luck.
Goal.
And
Yeah, but to be fair, hold on.
And Kane's first one was a penalty.
Yeah, exactly. So it balanced itself
Kane's
out.
first one was not a penalty. Oh
Well,
my
Kane's-
gosh! What crack pipe
Kane's
you
was.
have?
Here we go again.
There you go. You just stamp on, of course, you stamp on someone's foot, and that's not a penalty. Clearly,
He tripped himself.
he stamped on his foot.
He has done nothing of the sort.
We don't do none of that crack. We don't do none of that marijuana. Okay, we just drink booze.
Let me just.
Yeah, fuck it. A lot of it. A lot of it. If that's what you guys are saying.
Talk. Every time you do that, do you know what I just think? I just think of you going to Frankie and Benny's and talking like that. You might,
Hey,
you know what I mean?
I want a coffee. Give me a coffee over here. Send Big Joe with a coffee. I want a nice pizza and bada boom, bada bing.
God, that's
Frankie
Benny's is lit. Oh, the calamari is lit.
God, now I know how you guys feel when we try and do English accents. Holy shit.
Let's hear your English accent.
Oh, fuck no.
Come on, let's hear it. Do a Manc
He
accent.
just did it. He did it.
I can do a Scottish accent if I really try to.
Come on, dude. Come on.
I can do
One big leak up.
I can
Any
just like this.
English accent, go for it.
Maisie, let's hear your English accent.
Insert. Wait. Can you give me time to put on subtitles?
Come on. Let's hear your Scottish there, Connor.
Well, Scottish accent's not bad. It's difficult to do. I have to force it sometimes, but it's not bad.
Yeah, what's part of Scotland you like? Because you're near from Glasgow.
No. My family's from Kilmarnock.
Oh, Killy. Hey.
Oh, fucking shithouse.
Hey, I went to the shop there to get some beer, right? Some bastard stabbed me right in the arse.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Dirty bastard. Oh, you can go. Can you do any Irish? Can you do Northern Ireland?
I don't think I can do Irish. I have to try. A lot of times when I do accents, I'm a parrot a lot of times. If I hear an accent, sometimes I can replicate it, sometimes I can't. It depends.
Can you do any? Come on, about you, Maisie. I've never heard you do any accents, Maisie. Can you do any?
I'm shit at accents.
Well,
She's like,
I'll tell you what.
fuck out.
Do you know what?
She struggles with English, let's be honest.
Oh, that's not nice.
Oh,
Hold on.
Fuck
The
you
easiest
on.
one. The easiest one is.
sorry, he deserves a drop out of that.
Is Australian.
Australia,
Easiest.
that's nowhere near easy.
Oh, mate.
I told you, I'm watching you here.
I mean, her English is just about as good as him getting back up from a kneel. So I mean, it evens out.
What's wrong with my
What is this? Gang up on Maisie time, is this?
It is.
No. Hey,
They're jealous because I actually have a really nice accent. That's just all it is.
can someone translate for that, please?
No, even I can't understand that one. I'll tell you.
I'm trying to figure it out over here.
Sorry, I'll put subtitles on now.
I'll tell you what, I'm really going to get you now, Connor, because there is a language in England.
Maisie, if you started supporting Mercedes and Hamilton, I would have backed you even more. But
can anybody? Hold on. Can anybody speak? Argy Pargy?
Argy Pargy, what the hell's that?
Yeah.
Yarju.
Najo. Argy Pargy. Argy. None of you. Chris, I'll ask Chris. Chris, have you heard of an author called Keith Waterhouse?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you ever read?
He's classmates with him.
No, I've never read any.
Well, there's a book called There Is a Happy Land, and it is absolutely, it's amazing, honestly.
I've heard the say. You see, to me, when you said argy bargy, that's like an argument.
No, argy pargy.
Pargy. Oh.
Big up, John. Big up.
Yo, Reverend John. Big up.
Up for Verstappen.
People. Big up.
Big up Verstappen. Go on, Verstappen.
Go on, man.
Who's in pole position, by the way?
Verstappen.
It was Hamilton.
It was Hamilton, and he lost it.
It was Hamilton, but he lost the sprint race.
And that's a serious question. I was out. No.
Qualifying happened. They've got new formats. Qualifying started on Friday. He qualified on pole position and qualifying. They have a sprint qualifying today, which they just done, which is a 30-minute sprint race. There's a way of trying to mix it up.
Hamilton lost.
But he got jumped at the start, and because these cars can't follow and overtake, he was basically stuck in second.
How do you lose to a team that's got a car tire on fire?
Is that
you caught on fire and you still ended up losing into the turn?
Big up
he didn't burn his brakes enough, did he?
Is it a kit? Is it a kit, yo, Matt?
Team Red Bull.
I'm McLaren.
No. Lewis Hamilton. You've got to want a Brit to win it.
No, fuck off, I don't. I don't give two tosses.
You don't.
I don't give two tosses.
To be fair, he is supporting.
That's the Scots in you.
No, I mean, I support an Englishman. My favorite driver is Lando Norris. I'm a McLaren fan. I'm just happy because they have an American in charge.
Yeah, fair dues.
Yeah.
So this Euros then?
Yeah. Anyway, back to the Euros. Right. Group F.
I thought Hamilton had an amazing Euros. I really did.
Absolutely brilliant European Championship.
That red card Verstappen got, I didn't think was fair, but
and the Perez absolutely.
That goal Norris scored.
Can we bring this back? Because I'm lost now. I have no way.
Hang on. I want to see about Group F because everyone was going on about Group F.
The group of death.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it literally killed it fucking self, didn't it?
It was just excitement all right to the very end.
I want to big shout out to Switzerland because that game against France was like we were watching that, weren't we? I think we watched most of it.
I've just realised I've got my Scotland top on.
Yes. Yeah.
Apparently, Schick's goal against you got some goal in the tournament, didn't it?
Hey, we're the only team besides Italy to take points off you, so I'll take it.
And do you know what? Whenever I watch that goal back, that shit goal, I mean, let's have it right. There was, I think it was 50-50 that. It was a 50% skill and 50% luck that it actually...
I don't give a fuck. We caught it. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean...
Every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Thank you very much.
Really?
Yeah, let's not talk about Arsenal for Steven's sake.
Skip that.
He'll end the stream if we keep talking about it.
Can we not talk about that, please? Right, because I wanted to say about those teams, Germany, France were probably obviously favourites. Germany didn't actually. I mean, the game against England, Germany in the round of 16, I think that was our most convincing performance. Stuff for Ukraine, I think that was probably the better performance out of us.
That's a final. That could have been a final.
Well, yeah, but the fact is we've played Germany before, and we've never had very good success against them. I think the only time we've beaten them in a tournament is '66. So the pressure is huge. You're at Wembley. So for me, that was probably our most telling performance, the way we managed to shut them out of the game. And basically, and though they seem to have more possession than that, and maybe even more chances, we seem to dominate the game a lot more than they did, to be honest.
Just puked in my mouth a little bit at that last comment.
I mean,
why? Because you didn't make why? Because it didn't make you through.
Puked in my mouth a little bit.
Well,
Because you didn't make it through.
What comments that were?
The Steven Gerrard for England manager. He made me puke in my mouth just a little bit.
Is that a good idea?
Oh,
God, his accent's worse than Falk and Ladies.
A Scouse is an English manager. That's basically the worst of both worlds.
He won't. No, not yet. He's gonna be doing his own club stuff in it for a long time to come.
Well, Southgate's there anyway for the foreseeable future anyway.
Yeah, Southgate for the now. Just let's look at the progression. We've gone from being absolutely like that stuff that comes out of the back of dogs, right, to getting to a semi-final in a World Cup. Whether the group was easier, what I always say, there are never any easy games, right? There was semi-final. This time round, we got to the final. We were so close. I'm still standing for what I said about the refereeing decision against Chiellini. I thought it was just in a competition. It was. I know people talk about the tactical fouls and all the rest of it, but at the end of the day, in a competition like that, in the final, when you are going to deny us an opportunity at goal, there has to be a harsher punishment.
It's a professional yellow.
You know.
To be fair, in Jens back in his actual league, he would have been sent off.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Well, that's because the Italian league's a bunch of pansies. But
yeah, but even then, if you did that in the street, you get arrested.
Yeah.
Fair. The thing for me is we see it all the time with professional fouls. We see it all the time. So I feel like there is a line, and I feel like it kind of just towed the line, and that's why it ended up just being a yellow.
Look, you see, I'm wearing this now, and this is not exactly like loose around your neck. It's really quite tight around it. But if he did it here, I wouldn't say it's a yellow card. But because you're doing it there, you're putting you're
that was assault
dangling in his neck.
I think it's just what he was able to grab. I mean, if I'm able to, of course, you try and grab for the shirt, but if it ends up being the neck,
like those like silly those silly like acts that they jokes they do like in a comedy show where they put like where someone's walking through a door and they've put a piece of wire where their neck is and they just call it on their neck and they fall over. This is like that. So, and
my thing is he was all right. I think we just move on, let it go.
So, because if a couple yards further up, it would have been a red card because of a denial of a goal scoring opportunity.
There was two guys. There was another defender back. I think it wasn't the last defender.
And even then, the second one on Grealish, that's a red. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, I'm not gonna comment on that. I don't have much opposition on that one
because
either way,
the end of his career there.
Let's have a right. Listen, what happened. We know that it was quite. They were quite lucky to get away with it, Italy. But in the end, you know what? They did what they had to do with the penalties. We didn't, and it is what it is. But you know what? Going into this next competition, the World Cup, these boys and Southgate are going to be super confident. Surely, we are going into this World Cup with something we've never had before, which is a final under our belt.
And the USA is going, and Scotland might actually be in the tournament for once.
Well, yeah. To be honest with you, Connor,
the question is though, Connor, how long for?
Yeah, I know. It's for me, the drought in between our last two major tournaments is older than I am myself. So I have to just be happy with what I've got there, and I'm happy because mainly, I mean, it made me laugh that the best player for my second nation is with one of the worst teams in the world in Arsenal, but Xhaka's been brilliant for Switzerland. I was happy to see him do well, but the U.S. This is a golden generation of the USA. I think honestly, this team is going to be really, really good.
As well, how does it feel that you have to support a team that just basically makes the numbers up.
Which team?
Scotland.
I mean, if we're looking at Scotland, we're looking at the starting left back for Liverpool. Your starting left back, Kieran Tierney. How funny is that?
He's the left centre back, actually, to be honest. He would actually play quite well.
Yeah, he does play. We have a lot. See, people like to bash on Scotland, but they've got a really solid team. There's a lot of solid players in that team that play top class football.
Obviously, it must be is it a manager problem then?
I don't think so. I think there were some players I would have rather been brought that weren't. But I also think we have a bad mix of young and old. We have some old players that I kind of think need to be moved on, and we have some young players right now that are just a couple more years away from really being where they need to be for us to really start hopefully doing some damage. And I think we're getting there, but I think it's going to be a couple years before we really start doing damage.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
You'll get that. We'll get to that towards the end of the stream because that's a very important point to talk about. I mean, go on.
I was going to ask who was everybody's biggest disappointment team-wise.
Turkey.
No, because I don't go for that because I mean they were really, for me, they were never really going to be going to go on and win it. Never, no chance.
No, but
I think Germany
get out of the group.
I say Germany or Portugal were huge disappointments. I mean, you're looking at Germany, who's been a dominant team, and Portugal, who just won the Euros last time.
Well, yeah, and for me though, France, because if you look at what when France when they were at the moment where they were, whatever the score was, it was 3-0 or 3-1 or whatever,
3-1,
right? And Paul Pogba was doing his thing, his salute thing. And it was they were so convinced that it was done, but let's have it right. Switzerland had another idea altogether. They were like, "Yeah, go on, you think that
we don't roll over that easily." No,
they didn't roll over in any sense. Neither did Denmark. To be fair to them, neither. But and I know Taiho. Yeah, I know Taiho's biggest disappointment.
Belgium was disappointing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was the biggest disappointment because I was expecting a lot more off every single one of the players. Knowing that the fact they've got Mbappe on the team and he didn't even produce a single goal, you just think that's just absolutely terrible.
He's got an ego problem. He needs to get his ego checked.
Yeah, I think so.
The whole thing with him, Giroud and Benzema and Mbappe need to get the golden horseshoe out their butt and really check their own ego, because both of them are a little bit too egotistical for their own good.
You see France doing their own mess as it is. It's not just that with Griezmann, Dembele after the actual tournament itself. It's not a great place to be. And to be fair, I mean, what I've watched the whole tournament, I will say this: what I've noticed throughout the whole tournament is the teams that got to the furthest stages. Right, and he saw it again like he did in Euro 2016, is the teams that haven't got the quality, but they play well as a team. Like Ukraine, like Sweden, Switzerland, Denmark. They haven't got the biggest quality, but they play well as a great team. And England played well as a team, so did Italy. So it's those ones that got very far into the tournament, and it shows that maybe having all the quality in the world doesn't make you the full-on favourite, especially if you're not playing well going into the tournament as a team. So, I mean, would you agree with that, Chris? I mean, was that a surprise to you?
Yeah, I mean, Turkey. To me, the biggest disappointment was Portugal. I mean, I thought they could go certainly to the semis, but I mean they got absolutely stuffed by what we now know is a completely average German side. We beat them 2-0, but it wasn't a Germany side that we know Germany can be. They're going to have to sort of regroup and probably sort of draw a line and start from scratch. And I just thought, I was just, I have to say, I was just totally disappointed when, they were the holders, for God's sake, and they went out with a whimper.
Mm.
I think my player of the tournament, though, is the Danish defender Ayer. Just played very well, and his whole dealing with the Eriksson situation. My hat's off to him for how a lot of that Danish team handled that situation.
But there's no way and I can never say it, Donnarumma, or whatever he's called, the Italian goalkeeper, was player of the tournament.
No. Money hungry son of it.
No, I don't think he was. How is it he doesn't win Golden Glove? Pickford does, and yet he's supposed to be the man of the tournament, player of the tournament as a goalkeeper. So can someone work that one out, please?
Have you seen the UEFA team of the tournament?
Yeah. Let's have a look at it. I mean, do you know what? We'll have a look at it and then we'll do our own. So I think we should do our own. Euro 2020.
Everybody smells corruption when it's going against their side. I will say that, though. It's ridiculous. Everybody screams corruption only when it's going against them.
Football United is really into stirring it tonight, isn't he?
We're stirring what?
No, he's just having a bit of banter.
Just having a. To be honest, if we did that one.
I smell the same thing as Static.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen,
will you become no? Fuck off, no. No, Belgium was supposed to disappointing with all their expectations. France as well. Yeah, Matt, that's my reply. Thank you. Static. Belgium were ranked number 1, so they're definitely disappointing. Very good point. We'll go to Belgium in a minute. Actually, I know that was me. Oh, has he changed this time? On the right side. No, it's not happening. End of story. You can get lost, right?
I will say,
I'd rather dip my head in oil, right, and set myself alight with it.
Stop playing.
Don't you already do that by watching Arsenal?
Yeah, pretty much. So there we are. I'd rather part with the pain. They are fate number 1 team in the world, absolutely. Laugh after stay. I feel sorry for Hungary, who should have qualified and were the surprise package. King Tony, true. Hungary were not hungry, that's it. Paul Marin died at 68. England penalty takers shirts. 68 equals 68. The 3 who missed penalties equals 53. Coincidence. Okay. I don't know how you work that one out. I'm not going to work that one out.
Agreed, Static. Agreed there.
Donnarumma, player of the tournament. I smell corruption. Italy's keeper was amazing. SFeatleyTV, no, they weren't hungry enough. Got your ticket for the banter boss, everyone. Yeah, okay. Now I'm talking about UEFA, the team, the UEFA, the football organisation, not just a lot of teams. Yes.
Do you know what for me was one of the most enjoyable moments of the tournament was when Group F they were playing their final game and we were trying to work out who we would be playing, because at some point during that 90 minutes we were playing every team, all 4 of them at some point or the other.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to sit there and watch. Like, we've got Hungary, we've got Germany, now we've got Spain, no, we've got it. And it was. I've never known anything like it. It was.
It was disgusting to see the reports of what happened to people after. I mean, Maguire's father getting injured, Lando Norris getting robbed right after the game ended. I mean, come on, people.
Goalkeeper Donnarumma, defenders Carl Walker, Bonucci, Maguire, Spinazzola. This is the team of the tournament. Højbjerg, Jorginho, Pedri, Chaser, Lukaku, and Sterling.
Sean up being in the being the left back of the tournament is an absolute farce.
Yeah. I don't see how Donnarumma is in goal because he didn't get the most clean sheets.
Yeah, it's not only clean sheets.
Yeah, you can't put it down to just clean sheets.
You said the most impact on any team.
Well, nobody's going to agree with me, but I'd put Schmeichel up for goalkeeper of the tournament.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's good. That's a
Oh.
good point.
Or even Danny Ward of Wales.
Danny
But-
Ward was absolutely phenomenal. I
Yeah.
would hit my cap to him.
You might notice
Then
a
to be
sort of a
fair,
Leicester
Pickford-
theme
I mean,
going
to be
on
fair,
here, by the way.
Pickford's not done anything
Just-
wrong.
if you think there is one, there definitely is. But no, just for me, for Schmeichel, the way he was handling that situation, in the Finland game as well,
I get the
I
Pickford
just
though,
think he's
but
immense.
I think Pickford's had a great tournament there. Football.
Yeah, but
I know people give him a lot of stick, but
well, I'm
he's
just
done
never
really well
going
this
to admit
tournament.
that. I'm just never. I find it hard to admit that. I don't like to admit England players are good unless it's mine.
Schick, Mile, and Pogba should be in. Love you all. Great stream. Yeah. Right. So, I think we should do our own actually, because I don't agree with that at all. To be honest. Right. That's great.
Chris is just going to be biased and put all the Leicester players in.
I'll agree with him on half of them.
Yeah, I think you will actually. But I will just move on to Belgium before we start. I mean, Belgium again.
Oh, the team with
I don't
3
know
Leicester
why they're number
players
one
in.
team. I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know why Belgium are team of are like supposed to be number 1 in the world.
Because they've got a lot of really good players, but not nearly the
If
talent of
that's
some of these
corruption, I
teams.
don't know what is. I mean, it's like the only team that's been number 1 in the world.
The
that's never won
the European Super League.
Right. I mean, Tor. I mean, it's shocking how you've got a team there that's won nothing all the time, and they're number 1 in the world.
Oh, Belgium.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's a funny thing how it works there with them, with UEFA, and how they do it, FIFA, whatever. But yeah, it's only a matter of time. Let me say this: it's only a matter of time before they actually do, go and do something. But I just think now it's a bit too late for that generation they've got, because by the time they go through another campaign in Europe, another campaign in the Premier League, and they need to get. Have Belgium got rid of Martinez yet, or are they sticking with him?
I think they're sticking with him.
Why wouldn't
Well,
they stick with him, though?
Well, it's crap. That's why.
He's taken them further than any Belgian manager in history.
Yeah, but they're still
better.
lacking a huge ingredient, aren't they? It's just
Netherlands was a very surprise team for me.
No,
Yeah.
I'm Dutch, and in my opinion, we underperformed.
Of course
A
you
lot
did.
of people thought you were going to be even worse than you were, though.
Yeah, actually, someone saying you were going to get out of the group. To be honest, that's what I heard from some people. But even then, I still think you should have gone further with the team you had. I mean, Dumfries. I think Dumfries had a good tournament. Sorry, go on, team. Cool.
Yeah, it's mainly the fault of our former manager, luckily now. But losing against Czech Republic, I was just a bit ashamed. Really, I thought we were gonna go on.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
We got
I thought we could. Yeah, I thought we could go to the finals if England were unlucky. But yeah, then to get eliminated in the round of 16, I was disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, they were shocking against Czech Republic, to be honest. I think Dumfries though had a good tournament when he was in there. Very surprising performance from him. Don't get why some Arsenal fans in particular don't want him at Arsenal or anything like that. It's just there's actually a few players that have been picked out there that I would have taken, but
Dumfries wouldn't work at Arsenal because we rarely play with a right wing back position anymore, and he mainly excels in a right wing back position.
Okay. I think what I'm trying to say is, I mean, again, let's have a look at the home nations exactly as well. I mean, Wales. What do you make of them? That tournament. Trying to take the piss.
They had a better tournament than I thought.
I'd expect them to get knocked out of the group stages. I didn't even expect them to go in the knockout stages, if you want me to be honest. So, fair play to them, because they're never going to get further than what they did a couple of years ago when they got in the semis.
They
Yeah,
got
that was
further than I
surprising.
thought they would this time. I'm going to be honest with you.
I thought they would get to the round of 16. I didn't know about anything else. But I did think they'd get there, to be honest. So I didn't. I think anything else, but apart from the group stages for them, was a bonus.
Yeah, Isak is a great player. I love Isak. He's one of my favorites. That I'm glad he was showing his talent at the Euros this year.
He's been
He
hunted
plays
by
for-
a lot of clubs, and he's a very good.
He was touted as the next
youngster.
Zlatan because of his, he being tall and Swedish, and he fits the damn bill.
But yeah, let's go. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at
Do you know who we haven't mentioned?
who.
North Macedonia.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
good point. North Macedonia didn't have a bad run in it.
Just,
either, did
just,
they?
just
They're
for Brad, who's not here, but we know. Think of him in person.
Yeah, I think they didn't have a bad tournament. I mean,
Seferovic had a great tournament.
They had a
You can't say that really because they got 0 points. Performance-wise, they were okay, but they didn't really do well. Looking at it,
Well, that's a
I
good
think
point.
in the game,
Yeah.
but I think the games they were playing. I mean, they were all expected not to be beat. They were expected to be beaten in those games, and they really did push those teams to earn their result. So that's probably why they say get a sort of little mention about having a decent tournament for them, because again, like I just said, they weren't expected to win it at them. So fair play to them, and I think for them, the fact of just being there was an achievement in itself. So,
yeah, that's true.
yeah. So we'll do our own team of the tournament. So, goalkeeper. Who should we say for goalkeeper?
That's gonna be fun.
I'm gonna go for each person one. I'm gonna go for each player. So, each person. Sorry. Chiho, your pick.
Yeah, you're not gonna like this, but Donnarumma for me.
Okay, Connor.
I'm gonna go Danny Ward.
Okay, Macy.
Casper Schmeichel.
Chris.
Oh, yeah, it's like asking me to pick my favourite child. It's so unfair. Do you know what? I'm going to go for Danny Ward because I think more was expected of Schmeichel, and I think Danny Ward had a good tournament.
He was a standout. He's the surprise goalkeeper of the tournament for me.
Yeah. I think we're going to lose him next season.
Talk.
Yeah.
Pickford.
Oh, Sterling's available.
I'd say Pickford for me. Like, see, they made some
You
really
would.
good saves throughout the tournament. No, it's not even biased. It's not just even biased. I think it's just that he made some really good saves during the tournament as well.
That Jorginho penalty save, my hat's off. That was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, so for me, it's the Pickford for me, but it's two each between Danny Ward and Pickford. So who gets the? I don't know.
Pickford.
Who Pickford? He had the most clean sheets.
Oh, fuck off. It's England. You guys should be expecting to get a bunch of clean sheets. Team's worth like fucking
Go on,
$750
put him in
million.
Spain.
Holy shit.
Not with our defense usually.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, John Stones. You're talking about three of the best defenders in the Premier League playing for you fuckers. And then you're talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold on the right, who's apparently God's
Sounds
gift
like
of man.
a Scotsman.
You got God's gift of man, Alexander-Arnold, who can't do anything wrong.
Look,
Pisses gold.
Look, Connor, there's no need to be bitter just because we made a final.
I'm not bitter at all. I've said it before. Fair play. Good job for you guys finally getting to a final. But I still don't think that, I feel like Ward deserves it purely on the fact that for who his team was and for the expectations, completely outperformed. You cannot say that Pickford is a top-tier goalie. He's expected to perform like Schmeichel. Danny Ward, on the other hand, is not, and definitely was not expected to be nearly as good as he was. He played out of his skin.
Yeah, I can hear that. Static. says you guys forgot Finland as well.
Finland wasn't that great though.
No, I don't think they were that great, to be honest. So, right back. Who are we going for? Tiho.
Can I have a minute think?
Yeah. No, you. Shall I ask you again?
Yeah.
All right, I'll ask everyone else first. Connor, who do you think should go in there?
Oh, bloody hell, come back to me as well.
Come back to you, Sean.
Yeah.
Talk. Who should you say?
Kyle Walker.
Chris,
Yeah, I was going to say Kyle Walker as well.
Macy.
Me too, Kyle Walker.
Do you know what? I was going to say Dumfries, to be honest. He had a very good tournament, in my eyes. For me, for the time he was in there, I think he was brilliant. But yeah.
Well, anyway.
Connor, who are you going for?
Yeah, I'll go Dumfries. I'd say it'd either be Dumfries or I'd like to go on Babu because I think he played well for Switzerland, but I'll go with Dumfries.
Tiho?
Yeah, I'll go with Walker.
Okay. That's Walker then. Walker. Left back. Who are
Luke
you going
Shaw.
for? Luke Shaw?
Yep, defo Shaw Bertov.
Yeah, Shaw's got. Whoa. Spinazzola?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No.
What about Joachim Mahler from Denmark?
No.
Nah, I think it's between Spinazzola or Shaw.
Shaw had the best tournament of any defender there.
Okay. Alright,
Luke
I
Shaw all
think
day.
I'm gonna argue. Yeah. Centre backs.
Maguire.
I'll go
Maguire.
Maguire as well.
Who
100%
else?
Maguire.
Bonucci. Maguire and Bonucci.
Yeah, I'd go with that as well.
Bonucci.
Yeah, me too.
As much as I hate Bonucci. Maguire. Then the
What formation are you doing this as?
4-3-3,
Okay.
Yeah.
or should I do 4-2-3-1?
4-3-3 works.
4-3-3 as well.
Okay. CDM. Tiho.
Jorginho. I'll go with Jorginho, yeah.
Say that again. Sorry.
Jorginho.
Macy. Connor. Sorry. Who are you going for?
I'm gonna do on the basis of just like my Danny Ward pick. I'm gonna go Calvin Phillips.
Macy.
Yeah, Calvin Phillips for me as well. I really like Calvin Phillips. So.
Chris.
I'm tempted to go with Calvin Phillips. He Rice outdid him in the final, but overall, yeah, I'll go for Phillips.
Okay. Talk.
Declan Rice.
Declan Rice. I would say, I'd say Declan Rice, but Calvin Phillips gets the vote. So
I'm sorry, but what is this English bias? I don't mean to hate, but come on.
I mean, the only other player, my other player would be Locatelli.
to be fair, Locatelli.
With 5 English players already.
Locatelli, I think, is good.
Yeah, we did make it to the final though.
Yeah,
so
they
you
did go to the
gotta
final, so you have to
players
give them credit.
in
The
there.
thing is, they've gone to the final, so it's going to be Italian players and English
Yeah.
players because they made it to the final.
Yeah, but Italy won it. There's only 1 Italian player so far.
That's
I was
because
gonna
a lot of
put Locatelli
Italian.
in this midfield, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd say Locatelli as well. That was my other player. I'd say if it
Locatelli
wasn't
going in this
Calvin
midfield,
Rice.
that is a fact. I can't believe they've not put in their midfield three, right? Not even a mention of Calvin Phillips or Jorginho, Pedri, and Chisa.
Pedri was amazing. Chiesa,
Right.
I'd say plays more as a winger.
But yeah, Locatelli, I think it's got to go in there for me.
Yeah, I can say Locatelli.
Who else would go?
Pedri. Definitely Pedri, 100%.
Pedri has to be there for me as well.
Pedri has to be.
Talking about the right side of the three, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pedri then.
Oh, the right side of the front. Oh shit. Okay.
Where you putting Pedri?
On the right side, you said.
Yeah. Okay. So Pedri on the right side, yeah. And on the left, I was going to go for De Bruyne, but never mind.
On the left, you should go on
Ronaldo.
Sterling
but
has to be on the left, on the left
Sterling's
wing.
got
Yeah.
to. Sterling's got
Yeah,
to be
Sterling is
there,
fair
isn't
enough.
Yeah.
Sterling.
Hold on, wait a minute. You're talking about the middle. You're talking about the middle three or the top three?
Top three.
Top 3.
Oh right, okay. Oh right, sorry.
Yeah.
Right, right here. Yeah. Okay, Sterling then. Yeah,
Sterling.
definitely. Without a doubt. And
Definitely
Chiesa.
Sterling.
Chiesa, yeah.
On the right wing, who are we going for?
Federico
Oh, wait,
Chiesa.
go through
Chiesa.
one. Chiesa. Conor gone Chiesa. Macy.
Yeah, same.
There's only one for the middle then, isn't there? And I know who that is.
It's not Harry Kane. Surely not.
No.
Leicester till I die. Who are you going for?
Yeah, same again for me. Chiesa.
Okay. Talk.
Chiesa, yeah.
I'd say Chiesa, but you could call me an Arsenal bias, but I did say I want to give Saka a shout.
Ah,
A right wing.
Yeah. Give him a
that's
shout.
English bias at its finest.
I'll give it a shout. I didn't say he was there, but I want to give him a shout.
The Y goes before the E.
There you go. Then up front, who are we going for?
Schick.
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 Can I throw in
Schick's going up.
Seferovic?
No.
I'd rather Schick. Right, Ronaldo is expected to get 5 goals. Schick, I'm sorry. Like, I really didn't expect him to perform that well.
Sure. But then again, Ronaldo did do it in less games.
Yeah, I will say
Yeah.
3 goals in 5 games from Seferovic isn't too terrible for a striker.
Yeah, that's a good point.
True.
He's one of the reasons Switzerland got so far.
Pedri,
Switzerland does not go as far if we have anybody else
That's-
but Seferovic up top.
Chiesa.
Go and rewire what?
Go rewire your butt. I think they're just bouncing each other. I wasn't even responding to Stephen Banner. Right.
So honorable mentions basically Calvin Phillips, Seferovic, and Donnarumma and Pickford.
Yeah, so our actual... Yeah, so out of what? Their lineup is Walker, Maguire that we've had in there. We've got Pedri in there out of the lineup, and Chiesa and Sterling. The rest, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions we don't agree with. It's not a bad team, to be honest.
No, that team wins a lot of games.
Billy, I wasn't paying £7 to watch that game. Right? I said I'm not spending any money on the club. End of story.
Yeah, but this
Especially
on
after losing
Steam
to Hibs.
Started from the season, not spending anything until he goes. End of story.
I'm excited for tomorrow. We play Derby County. I think that's actually going to be fun to watch.
I think not the last time we played Derby County.
No, we get to watch us play. We get to watch Rooney coach for the first time against us.
I mean, they had Frank Lampard in charge, for God's sake.
Yeah, but now they got Rooney. They've gone from one legend to another legend.
Billy Banfield sucked again today. Yeah, they did.
Did they get
anyway.
relegated in the
Yeah.
end? Derby County.
No.
Can I just say one thing about the team?
I want to mention something quickly about... Right, so I wanted to mention, obviously, about the events of the final.
Embarrassing.
Or
That's
afterwards.
disgusting.
disgusting.
Embarrassing. And that's just the behaviour. That's just the behaviour of the fans, not what was done
I mean, I wanted
online.
Obviously, I was. You could see from my watch along, was desperately upset with not winning it. But looking back on it, it's sort of exposing what's happened, what the truth of our society is really. Just proves, to be honest, why I think I don't actually should have been that disappointed that we lost.
But can I ask you this? Did any of us really expect any better? Let's have it right.
No.
This is what we are. This is what we are as a country. This is what we, the England fans. You go out, you drink booze, you get rowdy, and then you just cause problems. That's just what we are. That's what we do. Sad as it is, we have to just accept it. That's what we are.
I don't use it as an excuse to booze, then. I don't.
Yeah. This having a drink and this taking things too far, like, I just think the behaviour is just disgusting at the end of the day, and it just makes me feel embarrassed to be an England fan at times when you.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
it's like
you
saw. It's like I just said on. It's like I just said. Sorry, I just wanted to mention. It's like I just said with the watch along. You can see I was desperately upset. I was crying after missing that penalty shootout because of the way we lost it. But then after hearing what was going on, like literally as we were trying to go over the game, I was like, no, do you know what? We deserve to lose that.
It's not just an English football problem, though, is it? I mean, I don't think you can say we deserve to lose it because of the behaviour of a certain amount of the fans, and I'm not condoning them at all, but I don't think we deserve to lose.
During the game, Chris, even before they get final result, they're trying to break into the stadium because we need to see we need to see this game. We've seen it 55 years. I said, I don't give a fuck, mate. I'd rather live.
No, I agree 100%. But
who says we can't
these are players that it's not down to the players or the manager how they can't control how the fans behave, and they should be banned for life. They should never go to another football ground in their life. But you look around Europe. Bulgaria have got just as bad a problem as we've been on the end of with racism. Russia with violence. Obviously, we see it more because we are in England and we are looking at English fans, and we hosted the semis and the final. But it's disgusting. I don't know what the answer is. I don't think there is an answer to it. But maybe we should just ban drink on days when there's matches and not sell alcohol.
Good point. But I don't even think
it wouldn't have stopped them. They would have still sort of,
I don't think it stops there because I think it was just going to it. I mean, like social media as well. I don't think it's just the problem in, like, it doesn't really matter where it's happening, whether it's Bulgaria, whether it's UK. Like, I mean, like, it's the social media means it could be from anywhere, from any country.
Yeah.
Like, spreading this shit. And we all know what they can do. And apparently, what I've heard from other streams is that, like the government are coming with new laws to try and deal with the problem. That's not the point. You're not punish. Apparently, they're going to punish them about, I think, 5 or 10% of what they earn. I'm like, that's fucking £5 to them. I don't give a fuck.
Hold on.
No,
do you know what I suggested the other day? Right, I think it hurt them when all the players and all the clubs both came off social media. The problem was they only did it for 2 or 3 days. So how much did that really hurt them? They should come off it for a minimum of 2 months, if not longer, and then see how much it hurts them.
Yeah.
Or in fact, Chris, better still. Let me ask you this question then. Let's see if we can make sense of this. Why do our players from respective clubs even need to be on social media and our clubs themselves?
I think they like the interaction. I mean, you look at Marcus Rashford for us. He likes the interaction. He likes to see the interaction and reach out.
Oh yeah. Well, not that.
But I mean, Leicester. We've just signed those new signings that we've made, and if you go on the Leicester website, you've got the story. The so signed for Leicester. Follow them on their social media, and the club are actually putting their social media out there for people to follow.
Do you know what I don't even get? Do you know what I don't even get? It's like, you look at other sports, right? You see, okay, say I've seen Hamilton make many mistakes, and there's never been any problems when he's done the same mistake as like Saka's done, missing a penalty, right? But in his sport, there's never been a problem afterwards when he's gone on Twitter or Instagram and posted something about it, right? There's never been a problem. So I don't see why I don't feel that players should punish themselves because I'm sure they all love to be on the socials. They love to be on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all the rest of it. So why is it they should be punished by having to come in off for so many months because of certain individuals who?
But they could have social media up under a different name for the friends, family, and close mates.
But they like the interaction with their fans, though.
But then we can't have it both ways, you know. They still want to interact with the fans, but when they're interacting with the fan, and I don't really want to call them fans, you know, because they're just pricks. But
I think you should have to give an ID of who you actually are when you create a social media account, so that if you do stuff like this, you can get banned and not be able to come back. The problem nowadays is you can get banned and come back on a different account.
You see that guy?
With not just that, it's the algorithms as well. I think you mentioned about algorithms all the time with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can do it. Quite easy to do if they spend the money.
Can't they trace it through IP addresses as well?
There's lots of ways they could do it, which would either be IP addresses through internet providers or through algorithms, which will, like I say, if you can make an algorithm that can read a bunch of text, and it will pick out all the associated words around racism and emojis, and it will pick them out. And then if those words don't make sense with what else is in there, in other words, it can read it like a human. It'll say, no, that ain't getting sent, and it doesn't go. It gets dropped off into room 101.
I've got the Leicester Till I Die Facebook group and Leicester Till I Die Twitter. And as admin of those two pages, I go on and I have blocked 40 words that I will not allow to be said in my group or in my Twitter. So if anybody posts a word or a post with one of those words in, it automatically isn't authorized. It's banned. So if I can do that up there, it can be easy. So again, can these players not go on and ban certain words?
And if you stop social media match days in a few days after, black players don't get this.
Thing with that, King Tony, I was going to say that, but then they get used to. They're like, they're off. It's Saturday. They're going to be back on Tuesday. I'll wait to post me abuse till Tuesday.
Yeah, they'll wait till Tuesday to do it. So they'll just have to carry that resentment until Tuesday.
But like I say, I have no problems now. I have very, very few problems with any racist or sexist remarks on Facebook or Twitter because, like I say, I've got 40 keywords that if you're in and sort of mixtures of those words that if they're mentioned in the post, its post simply is not even sent to me to authorize. It's just deleted at source.
Yeah, they can do the same.
They could do the same. Exactly. Companies can do the same. So why is it we have to do that ourselves? Right?
Because I suppose you could say it's freedom of speech, isn't it? You know,
it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You know, you can use the word shit in several ways. You can say, "Oh God, I'm feeling shit today," and that's not abusive. But you can say to a player, "You played like shit today."
Freedom of speech does not mean, right? It gives you the right to. That means, it means I can say what I like. That means if I want to be abusive to him, I can say so. No, it doesn't. Freedom of speech means you have the right to say what you want, as long as you're not being abusive or offending another person.
This is
right. Can I just say this first? Because I read this. I'm trying to think who said it now, but somebody will remind me. Being offended does not mean that you're right.
Yeah.
Because what one person gets offended by, another person doesn't. So who should be telling me what I should be getting offended by. And just because I'm offended by something doesn't make that thing wrong, and it doesn't make me right. So, you know, if you're going to sit there and say, I'm not you, Stephen, but if a player's going to sit there and say, oh, I don't like people calling me that, I don't like people calling me that, it takes 2 seconds to go on and block the word. And if you can't be asked to do that, then don't sit there and moan about the abuse you get.
I'll just quickly talk.
Sorry, Talk. I jumped over you then, but
yeah, just before you go, Talk, I just want to Macy, that petition you started. I had a look at it, and I'm pissed off with it.
Why?
It's been rejected.
Oh, I read that. Got an email today about it.
That's disgusting.
What the
That just says it in a fucking detail, doesn't it?
Shows how much they care.
That says it in one swoop, and that's just to stop trolls on social media. So that could be anything, like any sort of prejudice, discrimination, or anything. Right? That is just bollocks. It sums up in a nutshell.
It's
We
what
can't even start a petition because of this.
Shows that I don't know. It's just
Why? No.
I read the email and I felt a little bit disappointed. I would have expected that maybe they wanted it to all be changed and to see what they could do, but I don't know. It just I was just more like wow about it more than anything when I received the email.
The point it also just shows that as people, as us, as like a normal society, unless we're like some sort of backing, like maybe a major big sportsman, an athlete, or anything like that, you're not gonna. It's not gonna force them to change because that person's got a major platform with millions of followers.
Let's
and
just
if
be
they
clear.
speak up about it, it means all them or millions of people that follow him speak up about it, and it means it gives them a problem they have to address. If we go and speak up about it, because we don't have a massive following, they just go, "Yeah, all right, don't worry
It's
about
quite deflating, to be honest.
It's
Well, listen,
bullshit.
we can't. The thing in it now is for us in the time, where we are right now is people are. We don't want any kind of abuse or discrimination of any kind on social media. So that we have to draw a line under that. We don't want any kind of discrimination or abuse. Negativity in general towards other people in a really aggressive and nasty way is just. We just don't want it. But for me, this all lies with the laws. This is all about laws. You cannot, in one hand, say you've got freedom of speech. You can't say, you've got freedom of speech, but then without law, say, but you can't say this or that. There has to be changes in the law to make the things that these vile bastards say, right? There has to be changes in the law that says, and it's quite clear, right? It's quite clear when you've been warned. I don't get all this namby-pamby nonsense about fucking, it's a bit harsh on him and it's a bit harsh on them. He only said this and he only said that. But bollocks, no. If the law says, if the law says you cannot do this because if you do, these are the consequences, and you still do it, you have to accept those fucking consequences. End of story. You know what the consequences are?
Before you go, Chris, I just want to ring up site comment because these 3 comments are really great. The government should put a fine for every victim that get online abuse to the companies. Example, £1,000. If you have 100 people on your platform getting abuse, it's 100,000 quid.
Yeah, who's going to pay for that? Us taxpayers.
The government put a fine, £1,000 fine to the social media companies. So soon the social media platforms will start using algorithms to stop as they would lose millions. Losing money is the only way that will motivate social media platforms to stop it.
Listen, let me just say this.
Can I just make 2 points here? First of all, yes, our government should be doing something, but then our government can't control fans from Germany, France, Bulgaria, wherever that following Premier League players.
In-house, though.
And B, when, like I've said, we live in such a snowflake world these days that nobody will take responsibility. It's, oh, the government needs to do that. Oh, this person needs to do that. No, like I've just said, you can easily block certain words. And if you can't see what people are saying about you, how's it going to hurt you? But no, we expect somebody else to do it for us because we can't be asked to get off our seat and press a couple of buttons and enter a couple of words in that we don't want to see on our timelines. When are people and stars and football players and sportsmen, whoever they are, when are they going to take the responsibility? And instead of crying every 5 minutes, oh, I've said this, it's upset me. Well, ban the bloody word, block the word then. You can do it because I can do it. I've done it on my 2 platforms. Stop crying and saying it's somebody else's problem all the time. Take some responsibility and grow a pair of balls.
No, I don't think that's the angle that they're talking about. It's because this is like in general, isn't it? It's just racism in general because
it is. But that would be an easy stage because they're saying all that. This player's received all these tweets with all these things. Well, it's not right. I'm not defending it.
I didn't know. Hold on. I didn't know that you could actually do that on any of these platforms. I didn't know you could actually go in there and. Can I go onto Twitter then and say, right, I don't want to see any of these.
I told Melina about this because she was getting abuse, and I'd gone and you can go onto your Twitter account. And you can go into settings, and I'd have to tell you afterwards the actual route, but I'm sure you can probably work it out. And you can put as many words as you want. I've got about 45 words on there that are meaning, whether it's racism, racist words, sexist words, demeaning words. And basically, I don't see any tweets appear on my timeline or anything I've been tagged in that have any of those words in. Now that's a start. So if somebody turns around and says, "Chris, you're a fucking arsehole," I won't see it because I've banned those words, both of those words. So I don't see it. So it doesn't bother me.
Didn't know you could do that. That's news to me.
And I think on Facebook group as well. Somebody said the other day. I said, "Why?" He messaged me. He said, "Why won't you post my thread?" I said, "Well, tell me what you said in the thread." And there was. I won't repeat the words because it was absolutely disgusting. And I said, because you've got those words in, I said, it's cut out straight away. So, if somebody was to come on and say, you know what, James Maddison is an effing P, I wouldn't even, I approve all posts that go on into my group. I don't even see that because I've put those words in there. And Facebook immediately throws them out.
Didn't even know about that. I didn't. I had no idea. Did you know about that, Stephen? I didn't.
No.
I had no idea that you could do that.
No. I mean, there was a thing. Maybe because I don't know whether you guys actually run a Facebook group or not. But it's what it came out. I mean, King Salt. You're saying there, Twitter should just ban the words direct. I mean. The problem with is we live in a free society, and you've got to be very careful when you get to that. Oh, you can't say that. If I was to woke up this morning and I feel right shit, that's shit in one way. But if I woke up and go as bloody Maddison, he was a shit player yesterday, that's directed at somebody, and that's a different use of the word. We've got to be careful. We don't go down the road of.
Yeah, but. To be fair, there's some words that are just you don't use.
But what I'm saying is to somebody.
When you're being racist, the N word, you shouldn't use it any at all.
Well then, if you don't want to see that word, you go on and ban it.
Yeah, but why can't Twitter just ban that word? It should be a general ban on that word. You should never be allowed to use it.
Yes, but what I'm saying is they haven't. So because they haven't, these people should be going on and doing it themselves.
Listen, it's all up for me. It's about.
And then there's the problem. Here's the problem. Then is like, what about emojis? Then, for example, what about emojis? Is it the same for them?
Well, listen, there are certain
emojis instead.
There are certain emojis I won't use. There's certain emojis I just won't use. Just won't go anywhere near them. And I see some people still use them, and I think, well, given the climate we're living in at the moment and what's going on. Why are you still using certain emojis? Don't get it. But you know what? For me, it's about punishment and
education.
Yeah, punishment and education. Because at the end of the day, if we can't we just don't want people to do it in the first place. This is for me the biggest point is we don't want to be constantly having a fight against these bastards, because if you're doing that, they're always going to try and alter what they're doing to try and get, because they're uneducated and not getting fucking punished. They're going to try and find other ways of doing it. So what you're going to do then? You're going to have to then find another way to get it around this angle or that angle. No, there has to be deterrence and education at the heart of this. That's for our government. Boris Johnson can just say to Twitter, right, look, if you do not get a grip of your platform, I am going to ban it in this country. There will be no more downloading of Twitter from any app stores in this country. It'll be banned, and anybody found using it will be prosecuted. Blah blah blah. Right? This is what they should be doing in all the countries. But why won't they do it? It makes no sense to me at all. I don't get it. I mean, what are we gaining from Twitter as a government? What do the government gain from Twitter?
So I will just mention the education though is another part of it, because like you can ban them for so long, but then like there's just people that are just so fucking uneducated. I mean, remember that? Did you remember the DM I sent you of that video that I showed you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of that stream.
Yeah.
Look how fucking uneducated they are.
Well, yeah. Well, this is the thing. I mean, there's certain people that just don't seem to. And then listen, there's only one way. There's only one way. There's only one way to look at racism and abuse and what's the other word?
Discrimination.
Yes, there's only one way to look at it, and that is in one angle, right? You look at it. We do not want it. It's not acceptable in any fucking shape, form, or colour, or whatever you want to fucking call it. So I can't do when you try and angle it and people start trying to bend things around it and start to go, if you go around that bit there and then come up this bit and then but just take that bit out. No, just the fucking lot of it's got to stop. We are in the 21st fucking century. We can make things now in a artificial. We can grow artificial human organs, yet we still cannot accept each other for fucking who we are. I mean, it's a fucking diabolical joke. Surely, if we want to progress, I said it the other day. If we want to progress as a human race, whether it be on this planet or the next, and have a really, really decent future and a happy future for everybody, racism and discrimination are our biggest hurdle. If we can get over that, we can achieve anything. But we have to first get over that, and that's only going to come in the early days of harsh punishment. I know people will say, "Yeah, but look at crime, sending people to jail." Yeah, but look at what you did. Look what you did, right? With crime, you softened the penalties. Then what happens? It becomes a fucking holiday camp. So youngsters now are going, "Oh yeah, I'm not bothered," because it's a big thing now to go to jail if you're a youngster. Everybody looks up to you, thinks you're dead great, and you're hard because you've been to jail. Bollocks. They wouldn't be fucking thinking that if they went to proper fucking jail, right? Like in America.
So, do you have? I'm serious question here.
Sorry,
do you have?
Sorry, Chris. Sorry, I know you want to go. I need to bring Saeed in because he's been patiently waiting. So I wanted to bring him in just to give him his point. Saeed, go for your point, man. Go for it.
Big up to everybody that's.
By the way, it's great. It's good debate.
Big up,
about it.
Yeah, big up everybody that's on the stream, all the listeners and the panel. I wasn't gonna join the stream at first because the Euro's been a very emotional journey from me, and it's not. It has nothing to do with football itself, or it's more to do with everything that happened outside, all the abuse, all the racism, Boris Johnson. I didn't want to come in with like a negative energy because I do think that teams like England, Denmark, Switzerland, they've had fantastic tournaments, and I do think it was It was beautiful to see the fans back and the support. It was beautiful to see how hard the Danish people were fighting for Eriksen. You know, it was beautiful to see how the young lads in the English team were founding like a brotherhood, and you heard so much positive from them. So I didn't want that to not be highlighted. But with regards to racism and abuse, and why I think it's so important to fight for it, it's because celebrities, superstars, they get abused. It's not nice, but they have people who can help them. They have resources.
Yeah.
They can go to a psychology. You know, they have a whole team behind them. I'm not saying that will solve it, but they have something. But for the 10-year-old girl who lives with her parents, who's too scared because people are telling her that she's fat or that she's ugly, or to that 8-year-old boy who get abused because he has a skin color who some people maybe don't like, to that 15-year-old who take their life because they've had so much abuse online that they can't find any joy in life anymore, so they don't want to live. And that's the point. I think it's not talking enough about the negative consequences it has on people's life. People are dying because of abuse. People are dying because of racism. People are getting like become alcoholic or drug problem, or depressed. And these are the points that nobody's mentioning when you talk about what's happening online and why we have to fight it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
can I just say, I agree with you with the whole like struggling to find any help for it for like everyone else, right? Because say when my health problems started again, I was in a really bad place and I need to see someone, and now I only have like someone once a week, but at the time there wasn't anyone. They couldn't find anyone because they're all fully booked, like a proper psychologist to have proper sessions, right? There's only just like someone to talk to at the hospital and that's it, but there wasn't a proper psychologist to help me through it. So the services just aren't there. There's so many people that need help. They haven't got room for everyone.
Can I just say, can I ask, do you agree with me that when somebody is being racist to somebody and also sexist or homophobic, they are attempting and maybe succeeding in stopping that person from being comfortable and proud of who they are.
100%.
You know, and is that, for me, this is the thing, see, is how can you that then be okay in the government's eyes and in the law's eyes for me to stop somebody being happy about who they are and proud of their heritage, proud of their roots, celebrating their roots, if I am then having a go at them because of what their roots are and where they're from? It's absolutely crazy. This is what I'm saying, is that I need all kinds of abuse and discrimination. It must absolutely stop. And let me just say this: I guarantee you now, if let's say the guy who we heard about, you know, the guy from the estate agents who posted the abuse, you know, did you hear about it? It was a guy from an estate agent apparently, in London, right? It was a guy, they found him because he. Right, and some people were making excuses, going, "Oh, maybe he was this and maybe he was that." And it's like, no, there is no fucking excuse for it. I can't go and have a drink, drink 2 pints of booze, then go up to somebody and smash them in the face with a glass, and then say, "Oh, I was pissed," and they go, "Oh, okay, well, don't do it again." No, you're going to go to jail for a long time if you do that. The same applies with this, or even better, right? If you own any real like assets, as in, i.e., property, vehicles, etc., right? You have to, that is get calculated so that it leaves you on your ass. Fucking skint. You got nothing. That's the penalty you pay for doing that. Everything is taken away from you, stripped, and you then go and get on the fucking dole queue, right? These are the consequences that have to be harsh, really fucking harsh, if we're gonna make a real change here.
Talk. Can I ask
For
a
me-
couple of questions of you, please?
Go on.
Okay, yeah, go on. Chris.
Yeah. First of all, and I don't know how old are you, if you don't mind me asking.
Old enough, mice. Old enough. Go on.
Have you got kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I've got 4 kids. How much of this is that? And I'm going to make 2 points here. First point is how much of what we're going through today is the parents' responsibility. I believe that you would bring your children up to have respect,
Of course.
to have understanding of other things. But how many parents out there actually do? You know, if the police bring a lad home because he's been, picked up for abusing somebody, as soon as those police go, half the parents in this bloody country will go, "Well done, lad." The parents are taking no responsibility. It's got to start at home, and the parents don't take responsibility. But
Education. But
yeah,
you're
but
right.
it's all,
Right.
it can't just be thrown with saying education, but it's got to come from parents as well.
I do see that.
Chris,
Yeah, but I think
But hang on. I would say that, but in the poorer, like working areas, right? You have parents that try to instill that in a child, but there are other. I'm not making excuses here, by the way. I'm not. Right? There are other factors where you have in a poorer society. In a poorer society, you may have families that have all the respect in the world and they try and teach their kids this on a regular basis, but because they're having to work so many jobs and they're having to earn so much, do so much to try and put money and food on the table, they haven't had the time to spend with the child to teach them the ways of, no, this is wrong, you can't say this at any other level or anything like that.
Yeah, but
No,
can
I do see where you're coming from, Stephen. I do see where you're coming from.
This is where I say the schools need to step in a bit. So I remember a kid who used to keep bullying me, and he never got to see his parents at all. Right? He had to go to his grandma's as soon as he came back from school. Right? But
that's just
as soon as
passing
he got some
responsibility.
No,
I'm sorry.
not saying that.
I'm a parent. I've had kids. But hang on, it's not my responsibility to teach them right from wrong. No, it's the schools, and if the schools can't be bothered to it, what's that to do with me?
I'm not saying
No,
that.
it should be parents.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
But
that.
I think, can I say something as
There's
well?
other factors that could be considered into it. That could be the problem.
Yeah, can I say something to Chris there? I think as well, and from what Talkman you were saying as well, I think, when certain things when you start getting punishment for certain things, people start to prioritize that. So if you, for example, abuse a kid, whether it's racially or sexually or homophobic, and you will get a hard punishment, parents will start to tell their children, you cannot do this, because if you do this, they will take you away. Do you understand? Because we have to understand, not all human beings are good human beings.
No.
It's you are grown up. When you're a young child, you think that the majority of people are good people. That's what you think. When you start to grow up, you start to meet different people, you start to see things, you start to hear things, you realize that, oh, maybe the majority of people are not good. There's so many parents that even shouldn't be allowed to be parents.
Yeah.
But
Totally,
what can you do about it?
Totally agree with that.
What you can do
I'm not
is
just
that-
saying it is just the parents, but there are a lot of
100%
positions
100%
where
and I hear where you're coming from as well.
If you are old enough and mature enough to have children, then you should be old enough and mature enough to be able to bring them up. The other point I wanted to make was, and this is really, really very personal to me, so bear with me on this one, is that it will get better. I had this conversation earlier with my son. It will get better as the generations grow. And when my generation is no longer on this planet, my children have grown up with a hell of a lot more multiracial society than I grew up with or my dad grew up with. And I can see that my son is more accepting of things, and I'm going to be honest here, than probably I was. I'm learning a lot. And it's the same with bullying. I was bullied at school as a child. I was thrown into cupboards. The teachers did fuck all. I'm seeing a psychologist now. I am seeing a psychologist now because of things that happened to me when I was 11 and 12 that I'd stuck in the back of my mind in a cupboard, and of my mind, and I didn't want to talk about it, couldn't talk about it. Nobody was there to talk about it. My mum and dad weren't particularly bad parents. They had the time for me, but in those days, the teacher would walk in if you're being bullied, and he'd say, right, come on, sit down, and he'd be happy with that. That would never happen these days. Never, because things have moved on, and things are generally moving on. I shouldn't be at 60 years old. I shouldn't be seeing a psychologist about what happened to me when I was 11, because the parents and the kids and the authorities couldn't give a shit in those days.
Chris, to be honest, you say we're bullying. I don't think that's true, because I was bullied at school, right? And they never did anything. I was bullied through primary school, high school, and no matter what school I went to, the teacher. And this is also a thing. This is probably what then teaches the kids is that if we can get away with bullying, we can get away with so much more. We can do so much more.
My kids were bullied at school.
No, but thing is, we can say nasty things. We think it teaches the kids that we can say nasty things and get away with it. And this is probably what then jump on Twitter and think, that in the word, we can use that word, right? Because no one teaches at school that is wrong to say nasty things to another person. So we go and do it, right? And this is the thing. They would bully me at school, and they did fuck all. In one time, I tried to take it into my own hands, and someone tried to push me out of the way. I pushed him back. And what's the thing is, he walked off scot-free, pretty much, got scot-free, and I was called into the fucking headmistress's office. And my mum's literally apoplectic, like, what the fuck are you doing, right? He's standing up for himself because you lot do fuck all, right? So he's standing up for himself.
My school, when my kids were bullied. I've got 2 boys, 2 girls. The boys were bullied, the girls weren't, and it got to me when the boys were being bullied because of what I'd gone through. I hated it, and I went and I talked to the school. And I'm not saying they were perfect. And at one point, the school turned around to me and said, right, well, are you going to leave this with us? And I went, no, because I can't trust you to do anything about it. And I did take it into my own hands. Shouldn't have done, but I did.
The amount of times the high school tried to deal with something,
but
and he still didn't deal with it in the end.
Even that was better than what I went through. And I know it's a long process, but... No, sorry.
Can I jump into that? When I was a kid, my father told me that it would be better, and I am 31, turning 32 this year. So 30 years later, and I believed him, because I did believe that. With his generation, more people had moved into Western European countries. You could go to different kind of restaurants. You can meet different kind of people with different kind of cultures, and people were getting married with different cultures. Stuff that wasn't possible maybe 50 years ago. But I can honestly say today that there's no difference. I mean, racism is as much as a problem today.
Can I just add something, Saeed? Right.
Yeah.
The thing, like they were just talking about the bullying thing at the school. Yeah. I mean, blah blah. I mean, I too was bullied. The only difference being that I didn't stand for it, so I attacked the guy who was bullying me, and I got expelled. Right, in the first year of secondary school. And I didn't get back into secondary school until the 5th year. So I had to have a home tutoring all from the 1st year right to the start of the 5th year, which was fine because she was a great woman and I did really well. But let me just say this as well. There is an organisation in this country, right, that have lit a fire, right, and turned their backs on it and walked off and let other people try and put it out, right, and then left the embers just glowing and glowing and glowing. And who do you think that organisation is?
Don't know.
Probably one of the biggest organisations in the world. Let's put it that way.
Listen, most of these organizations are just names to money laundering or gain
I don't know.
big profits.
The BBC.
Yeah.
The BBC. Look at you. Go back and watch any of the BBC stuff that they used to put on the telly in the 60s, 70s, and even in the 80s. Maybe even into the 90s if you look hard enough, where the racism was rife on their productions, as if it was some kind of joke. As if it was some kind of joke. And where are the BBC now? Tell me, where are the BBC right now? What are they doing? They cannot walk away from this without any responsibility at all, because they are responsible, in my opinion, for the thoughts and beliefs of a whole generation of people who may not necessarily have had the beliefs and thoughts that they may have now. If watching certain BBC programs makes it look like that's how it's supposed to be. It's funny because everybody's laughing at it. Let's have it right. We are taught by our peers, aren't we? We learn from the people who are showing us, whatever it be in life, whether it's training you for a work position or whatever. It's the same with the BBC, giving us the entertainment that we pay them for with our license, and then they go and say to us by putting programs on that, oh yeah, it's okay for somebody in this program to say this, that, and that about this person, and everybody laughing and canned laughter in the audience because we think that it's funny. What the fuck? I mean, come on. Where's the BBC now? This pisses me off royally because they think that they can just turn their back on all that what they did, and then, but no, they can't do that. There has to be more coming from the BBC. Why are they not trying harder to rectify the hurt they caused for like 20, 30 years?
I tell you why, and I'll give you guys an example. I use an app called Binance to buy cryptos. Binance was banned by the UK authorities for a couple of days ago because of they were breaching some rules and regulations, and it wasn't strong enough against money laundering. So the government were very fast to ban them because it was a money thing. And this is what it all goes back to. We live in a society, in a capitalistic world, where the only thing government really care about is money. As long as they make money, or the companies make money, they don't really care about certain things. And now it's even worse because now certain organizations, they can put a rainbow and then say that, oh, they're against homophobic. But they are really just using it to gain more credit, to make more money. And that's even more disgusting.
You're right. So, but can you see the pattern that I'm getting to here?
Yeah,
The pattern is this is institutional.
Yeah, and that's, as I've said on the last stream, there's institutional racism, but it comes from the top, and it comes from Boris. Boris have set a standard that it's okay to boo against people who are fighting racism. It's okay to call a female that she looks like a post letter because she's wearing a scarf. If he can say that in the public with confidence, what is his thoughts really, and what does he say in his private life with his mates? He doesn't care about racism.
Probably not. He probably, this is the thing though. How do we? I think, you know what? Let me just say this as well to everybody listening and everybody else who may listen at some point, or if you're listening, you tell other people. Right? This is our time right now as adults. All of us who are adults right now, this is our time. We are the ones with the power. We have to accept that and we have to understand that because we are the ones with the power, not the government. The government, we are asking them to change this and that, and they're saying, oh, we can't because of this and because of that. when we say no, it's bullshit. You just can't be asked. You don't want to do it because of usually financial pressures. But we're the ones with the power. We are the ones with the power. If we really want to make the government take note and make some changes, we can do it if we really wanted to. It's the same on Twitter. You know, if we really want to make Twitter really understand our message, we need to break Twitter. We need to break it. Right? Yeah. We need to break Twitter. We need to find out a way that imagine. Can you just imagine it if even a quarter of the people on Twitter in the UK at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, right? Everybody was to just start spamming no to racism, right? Or whatever, right? About racism. If everybody was to start spamming it one after another, just levering it in there for a good half an hour, 45 minutes, what would happen? Maybe even less. Twitter would be like, whoa, shit, what's going on here? You'd knock it up. It wouldn't get a cope. It wouldn't get a cope. Look in the pandemic, right? All the websites from all the big supermarkets, what happened? You try to get on a website for a supermarket to find out if they could deliver you some food that you needed. Oh, what did you get? You got a page saying, oh, sorry, our website's overloaded. We can't do nothing at the moment. We're working on it. Please be patient. Right? So we can do the same with Twitter if we really want to. We can break it. We can break it and record, and they're going to go, whoa, shit, what's all this about? Then they're going to go, well, look at this. Everywhere you look, it just says no more racism, no to racism, rise, enough is enough, whatever you want to, whatever you hashtag, but it would have to all be the same. Everybody agree to the same tweet, and everybody just keep tweeting it.
Yeah, we
just
need
copy and paste, tweet.
Yeah, I think we need to look at it even a bigger picture. I think we need to form some kind of an organization, and we need to try and get high-profile people to get behind it. And the reason why I say that is because when you have certain people back in your movement, they alone come with a force. And people listen to them. I think Marcus Rashford is a great example. If I was the person who was trying to fight for poor children to get food, the government wouldn't have listened to me.
No.
But the reason why they had to listen to Marcus Rashford is because he's a well-known footballer. He's a big profile. Plays for one of the biggest clubs in the world. He's one of their talisman, and he can put so much pressure on them that it would backlash, and it wasn't worth it for them in the long run to fight him because they were looking so dodgy. And that's why I say, if we can organize ourselves, create a platform where we can use our ideas on how to fight abuse, how to fight any kind of racism, and get people onto it, do it like an organization. I think that's when we can make big impact and changes, because we have to do something about it, because everybody that's on here on this panel today, I think everybody of us have faced some kind of abuse, discrimination. For me, racism, both physically and word. People have fight me, jump onto me. I've had terrible, experiences in the past. So I know how it feels, and I wouldn't want my children or anyone's children or grandchildren, for the matter, to have to face anything that we had faced, because I know that some people, it can make them stronger, but some people, it will break them.
Of course it will. And let me just say this, I'm sorry to hear that, mate. That is fucking disgusting. And I'll tell you one thing for sure. If I ever, not care where I am, in a street, a pub, a supermarket, restaurant, car park, or fucking shop, whatever, and I see or hear anybody being racist or like homophobic, whatever, I'm all over that.
Yeah.
And if I get arrested, I get arrested. If I get my head kicked in, I get my head kicked in. But there's no way I'm just going to stand there and not say anything. Not a chance. Not happening. Yeah.
And I think like recently, I think Ron's in the comments, and you remember he said that after being on this channel, he suffered racist abuse. We've had Mel as well. We've had Varga as well, and it's like I think we all know. And for me personally, I protect my friends. So say, right, anyone comes at you, I'll jump at them. Right, anyone comes at John, I'll jump at them. Anyone that comes on this channel and is a friend of mine, and they get that sort of abuse, they are going to as well. Say John, Mel, Barra, Macy, right? I mean, you have a go on, and I will fucking tear into someone. I will proper fucking have a go. I don't care who it is. Yeah, and that's the fact. And I'm saying that now on camera, right? Come near my friends, come near to any of us with this sort of abuse. God help you.
Well, listen, those people. There's not. They know our stance. They know that we just don't want it. We don't want it. We don't want to see it. Don't want to smell it. Don't want to fucking hear it. But at the end of the day, this platform allows people to just create as many fake accounts as they want, and then pop in, pop out. Oh, they blocked me, so what? I'll go and make another one, come back in, and blah blah blah. We know it. So you know what? Like I said to you, when they start coming in, you know what? We just block and ignore. We block and ignore. We block and ignore, because if you deny them a target, which is what they want, that's what they're after. They're going to get. They're just going to stop and then, probably go somewhere else, which isn't obviously solving the problem, because they just go somewhere else with it. But at the end of the day, like I say, for me, I believe we are the ones with the power. We are the ones with the power to make a change and a difference here, because if we can look at what we did about climate change. We cause real problems in London and other places by blocking roads, blocking this, that, and other. If you want, the government to really, really take notice of what the majority of the public want, and I would say 99.9% of the public do want the laws changed around racism and abuse of any kind, then we have the opportunity to do it. We can do it now. We can't leave it. Why should we be leaving it to our kids? Why should we leave it to our kids?
I think it's lazy when people say that let's leave it to the kids, or it will be better when the kids grow up. There's no guarantee. Yeah. Why risk it for every day that we don't do anything about it? Somebody is suffering, and that's for me is enough motivation to just want to do something about it, because nobody should suffer as a human being because of the way they look.
Exactly, say, and like I said to you, because basically for me, what a racist is doing is trying to say to you, right? No, you can't be comfortable with who you are because of the color of your skin. You can't be comfortable of your history. You can't be comfortable with your roots. You can't be proud of your roots. That's fundamentally against human nature. So how can it be allowed to be passed again in the law's eyes as something that isn't as serious as actually hitting somebody in the face with your fist? Physical abuse and also mental abuse is the same. It's just as bad as one another, because
100%.
If you cannot enjoy living your life, whether it be through getting physically harmed or getting mentally harmed, it's the same thing. So there has to be an end to it. There has to be laws, like I said before, serious bastard consequences, mate. That if you know that you're like that guy I was talking about, if it was true about him, I don't know who he is, I don't know his name, but the guy who's supposedly a estate agent in London, a big company, they arrested him. He should be, as harsh as it is, he should be made an example now. He should be stripped of any assets that he owns, and he should be put out in the cold. right? Whether he becomes homeless or not, tough shit. I don't care. You don't. There is no excuse for you putting that kind of shit into any messages to anybody when you know what it's about, and we all know what it's about. There's no one can tell me, oh, I didn't think it was that serious. I didn't think it was. No bollocks. You're lying. Fuck off. I'm not interested. Take the punishment. Take the punishment.
Man, it's always the people who's never faced abuse who tell you it's not that serious. It's never the victims.
Yeah, that's it, innit? That's it, mate.
And that's why, for me, it's just ridiculous. You know, it's ridiculous. Certain things we need to see changes in laws against, even, against, rape, against any sexual harassment. These are things sexism needs to be punished way harder. I mean, if I were to, or if someone were to fraud £1,000 from Lloyd's Bank, best know that you going straight to jail.
Oh yeah, of course, definitely, mate, definitely. And let me say this:
but if the CEO of Lloyd's act in a sexual way against his employees, the worst thing that would happen is they would demote him.
Yeah, and he gets a big bonus.
A big bonus and a better pension.
It's crazy, mate. It's. Do you know what? This is one of the other things. Can I just? Sorry, I'll let you go, Tycho. 1 second.
Yeah.
Right. If the government are not, if they think, oh no, that's a bit harsh, stripping people of their assets and all the rest of it. It's like, right, okay, then. But I don't know if anybody else agrees with me on that, but I fucking feel so strongly about that. I think that's what should happen. But okay, then, if you ain't going to do that, people must understand that when they are caught, and caught they will be, right? Because real efforts will be made. In fact, the government should have its own unit set up against racism and abuse and online hate and everything else, which maybe they have, I don't know. I need to look into that. But then if you are caught doing this, you are publicly, what do they call it? No, when you put out in the public eye, what do they call it? Exposed. You're exposed. Everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows who you've done, and there will be a recommendation to people that you do not employ this person, and etc. Simple, isn't it? One way or the other, you cannot be namby-pamby with people who know right from wrong, but then think I'm just going to take a fucking risk on it and just do it anyway. But look, that's just not right. Can't do that. Yeah. Sorry, it don't work like that.
And also, I felt like, maybe I'm wrong, but I kind of felt like someone was racially abused against Ian Wright, and I think it took them to court, and nothing happened about it. And you could see after that, people were even more comfortable. People were getting more abused because they had sent a message that it's okay to do that. Yeah. It's okay to racially abuse someone. We won't do anything about it.
This is what I said in schools: is that if you can get away with bullying, right?
Yeah, you were bullied.
If you can get away with you bully, and if you then can get away with bullying, it means I can say nasty things to nasty people. Once if I go online and if I put a monkey emoji and Marcus Rashford, right, I'll get away with it.
Yeah, it's like someone who doesn't like their teacher.
That this is wrong. You don't bully or discriminate against people, right? And it's against anyone, whether it's like sexism, right? Or any of it. You don't fucking do it. I swear to God. Honestly, it drives me up the fucking wall. It really does. Alright? It really, really, really.
Can I comment on this? Big up Dan E, by the way.
The government has just set up a special unit to deal on racism, and that's why people have been traced to the internet who's racially abused Saturday restaurants. Oh, right. It took them, how long to do that?
Yeah, but the thing is, for me as well, okay, you've now set up a special unit to trace these people, but what are the consequences? Is it gonna be like, we will suspend you from Twitter for 1 year and you will have to apologize and you get a fine of £100? What's the consequences? Because that's the thing that they don't understand. If you are doing something and the punishment isn't high enough, you will continue to do it over and over again. That's why certain criminals keep doing the same crime over and over again, because they know that the consequences isn't bad enough.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. This is about punishment and education, because
100%, and that's what we need to. There needs to be a reform in school, in workplaces, social media, everywhere. There needs to be a reform regarding education in all aspects. And when I mean education, I mean everything, on how we learn our kids, to how we should raise them, to how you should treat other people, and how we get along.
Actually, do you know what? Actually, saying that, I was the other day, right? I was thinking, I had a really. I'm not going to say it now, but I'll tell you after the stream in a minute.
Yeah.
But I had an idea, and I just thought, you know what? I need to put this to people and see what their thoughts are on it. But I will tell you once the stream's finished, just to see what the thoughts are and opinions on it, because I think it could be a real something that could actually have a positive impact, shall we say, when positive impacts are needed. The government, Luca, big up Luca. Did Tycho? I think Tycho wanted to say something, but I cut on him. Sorry,
Tycho, mate. Yeah, sorry, man.
Sorry,
yeah. We talk so much.
Yeah, it's okay.
Go on for it, man.
Yeah. Based on actual racism, Instagram is the worst fucking company, whatever, in the whole world, because on Instagram there are little pages with the N-word in it, with actual. I just found a channel. It said gay_N-word. If you report them, they say this account doesn't go against our community guidelines or whatever, but a fan page get deleted for supporting the idol, for example.
It's just ridiculous.
It's hypocrites. It's actual hypocrites.
Hypocrisy at its finest.
I have two questions. I have one question, guys. What do you think is the best? Should we try to fight social media platform, or should we try to create our own social media platform with the rules and regulations that we know is the right one?
Both.
Well,
because if you just create one social media platform, on the other social media platforms there will be continuous racial abuse. It won't stop if you just create something new.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, like, if we have a platform where you can't abuse someone, you can't be sexist to someone, you can't have an account without verifying who you are, it won't be the biggest platform in the world, but it will be an alternative for people to use and feel safe. And I do agree that we should do both. Like, we do have to make it uncomfortable for the social media platforms to run the way they are run today. But I've thought about this a lot. I do think it's time for a new, because here's the thing. If we were going to do it, we're doing it for the right thing. These platforms, they're just there to make money, share prices to go up. They don't really care about certain things. If they do it, they would do it because they're forced to do it. But it will never be as good as it could be. Meanwhile, if we were doing it, we would do it as the best of our ability, and we will always be open to improve.
Yeah. Can I just say this as well, Saeed, about that? If, let's just say that me and you, Stephen and Tycho, got our heads together and went, right, okay, let's have a look at this. We got softwares and everything else, and we created a platform similar to Twitter or on Instagram, whatever you want to call it. And then we've made it that so that, okay, if you want to join this, you have to send us your valid ID, and it will be checked. You will be checked. If that check does not come back as secure, then unfortunately you will not be allowed to join until you come back with proper valid ID. And we did that, and then we approached this huge name, a celebrity, and said to them, look, this is what we're doing and this is what we've created. And that celebrity went, okay, and then went public and said, right, folks, I'm leaving Insta, I'm leaving Twitter, but I am now going, you will only find me on,
Featleygram.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Yeah.
yeah. Featleygram, yeah?
Yeah.
You'll only find me on Featleygram, yeah? That's it. That's the only place you're going to find me. What do you think's going to happen? Right, all their friends are going to do probably a similar thing. All their following are going to go, whoa, what? All right, what's Featleygram? Wallop, yeah? Bang. And there you go. And you know what? Yeah, it is something that is a real possibility. And what do you think would happen then? Let me ask you this, and I'll tell you what would happen then. I know I'm answering my own question, but never mind. Right, I'll tell you what would happen, and you all would say the same thing anyway. What would happen then would be Twitter and Instagram, right, would go, whoa, shit. Yeah, but no, they'd go, whoa, shit, what's going on here? What's this? Then they'd come to you going, can we buy it off you? You're going to go get it, fuck off, we ain't selling it. Then what they're going to do, they're going to have to change their own setup. Otherwise, they know that it's going to be difficult for them.
Yeah.
So you'd either try and get bought out, which you would obviously say no, get fucked, we ain't interested. Because we know that you just want to buy it out so you can either bin it or just turn it into a sister of what you've already got, where anybody can say what they fucking like, which is not the point of what we're trying to do. Simple, isn't it? But go on, sorry, Saho. No, that's cool.
About the bullying matter we talked about earlier, I've been bullied well into this year even, and I've never felt at my place in school or anything. The lockdown has helped me because I didn't need to go to school every day. I felt more lively at home.
Yeah.
I am depressed. I will tell you that. I am depressed. Even though the bullying isn't the sole purpose of it, it definitely contributed a lot. But being at home, it made me feel better. And when I found this live stream, I'm feeling a lot better now. Now I'm doing live streams like this on Football United TV, etc. I'm feeling a lot better because of this, and we should definitely, promote this more.
Yeah, and let me say this, Taiho, if you've got me on Twitter, haven't you? Mate, if you ever want to talk, you ever want to go on a StreamYard just to have a natter, you just message me, mate, and say, you know what, are you up for having a chat for half an hour or whatever? Mate, bang, I'll send you a link for a StreamYard or vice versa, and we will just chat, mate, whatever it be. You chat about fruit and veg if you want, I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's actually good. We should create a group chat on Twitter or Instagram or something with all of us and other people going live, and then we can just go talk about normal things, not a live stream, but just normal talking,
don't we?
Yeah, we can just we can do it you can either do a stream or even off air where you just have just a general chitter chatter, talk about because let's have it right. Yeah. We all get a bit, if you're feeling a bit down or anxious or whatever, it's good to talk about your interests. And I have no idea what you're interested in, Taiho or Saeed. I know about Stephen's interests. He knows a little bit about mine, I think.
I can add you to our community chat.
Do that.
I'll send you a message, Stephen.
Do that because, like I say, you know what? There's always going to be somebody who's available to. And when I say talk, I don't mean typing. I mean, talking voice. You need to talk with your voice and stuff and that. So that goes for everybody as well. Just if you need to chat, man, because talking, let's have it right, is what's got us where we are today. Communication is key.
100%. And to you, Taiko, I think this is the first time I'm on a stream with you. I just want you to know that all of us that are here, we are here for each other. We are like a big extended family. We love and respect everyone, and never fear to say what you feel or how you are feeling. We are here for you, and we're here for anybody that feel down or feel some type of way. That's why I love this community, and that's why I give you so much of my time, even though I have a lot to do, with work and raising a family. But because of what Stephen is doing or what it stands for and the lovely people that comes on here, it's worth it for me to sacrifice a bit of my time to come on.
Big up, Sai. And listen, mate,
Yeah.
it's so much appreciated, mate. Your presence and your voice is always a pleasure. You know,
It's an honor.
always, and always will be. It's and yeah, you know, everybody else like it comes along, Taiho and everything. You know, everybody. But I have got a. Say, you know how I feel about you, mate. You know how I feel about you.
It's mutual. It's mutual, brother.
Yeah, man. You know that. But you know what? Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? It's you know, sharing our love for each other and just talking and being interested in what other people do. Because, like I say, I would like to talk about, you know, what do you do, Sai, and what do you do, Taiho? What are your other interests away from here? You know, that's the kind of stuff that is valuable in our, you know, what you would call it, an online relationship or whatever you want to call it. For me, it's just a relationship. You know, we talk to each other. We don't just type. You know, we are affected by text, but we are affected more by voice. So, you know, the emotional attachment can actually start to build when we use our voice. This is, like I said, what I just went back to is this is how we have evolved by communicating, and it's such a big key thing in life. And I just wish the governments of the world were as understanding in that regard, because they don't seem to want to do that as much as, you know, most people, which is a shame.
It's like also like you want to see people on camera, you build up emotional when you see people on camera.
The issue with government is, I'll give you an example. When I was younger, I was into politics. When I was, I think, 16, I became the chairman for a left-wing party in Sweden, and I was representing them at a council level. The issue with politicians is that they are very greedy people in general, and if you're not a greedy person, they will turn you to become a greedy person, because when you start to reach certain level, you're required to do certain things, and you're required to compromise with your morals, what you stand for. You need to gang up with certain people, and you need to throw certain people under the bus. So it changes you, it turns you to become someone who you know. And that's why a lot of the time you will see a very young and ambitious politician that is young, but when they start to reach certain level, you don't recognize them anymore, and you wonder what happened to that person. Politics changed them. It's a very dirty game, and that's why I went. That's why I just stopped, because I didn't want to become one of them, and I knew that me alone couldn't change it. You, in theory, you think you can, but in reality, you can't.
Anyway,
I sent you a message, Steven, on Twitter.
Yeah.
Big up Static and Nitish.
Yeah, and that's it.
And everybody that joined this stream, that liked the stream, like, I think it's been a fantastic.
If you follow us back on Twitter, I don't. If you follow us back, then I might be able to do it. Just that, but
yeah,
just it.
Right, brilliant. I should be able to do that now. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up there. Make sure to hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Just add you now. Yeah, well done. The dislike, well done. Thank you. If you dislike us talking about racism, then you might have an issue yourself, mate. Yeah. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, and share button. Make sure to also join the membership as well. Got loads of perks, very affordable price. So yeah, make sure you do that. And we're back tomorrow at 2 p.m. for the Grand Prix. for the actual race itself. Then the weekend review of that whole weekend afterwards. I think that's around about 7 p.m. something like that. And then we've got tomorrow. I think it's Monday's rest review and that. So yeah, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, share button, and we will see you two guys tomorrow. Until then, take care. Bye bye.
Take care.